Welcome back, Holistic Soul Sisters. It's me, Mandy Rose, your holistic health coach, spiritual mentor, and astrologer. Today's video, we are going to dive all into the full moon in Leo happening on February 16th. Now, this is a really powerful full moon because the moon is in the zodiac sign of Leo, and Leo is the lion. It wants to be heard, but it represents our creativity and our joy and our romance. So we are going to have a lot of heart activations, a lot of thoughts and emotions around what lights us up. But on top of that, this year, this full moon in Leo on the 16th of February is going to be activated by the north node of destiny and the south node of karma. And this is creating what's called a grand cross in the astrology. So this full moon is going to bring about some events, some thoughts, some interactions that are going to switch things up to put us back on our path and maybe make us a little uncomfortable. So we're gonna dive all into that in this video. Make sure you grab your 2022 Retrograde Astrology Journal, flip open to the full moon in Leo, and you can take notes as we go through this video. If you don't have your copy of the Retrograde Journal, you can still purchase one. The link is in the description box below. I'll send it right out to you. You'll have it within a couple days. Make sure also that you fill out your journal prompts on this new moon or within 3 days before to 3 days after. Whenever we have a new or full moon, the energy is potent for about 3 days before until 3 days after. Also, you'll notice in the journal that I list the crystals, the herbs, and the chakras that you can use and work on at the time of this full moon in Leo. So let's dive in, starting out with the basics of this full moon. This full moon is happening on February 16th at 11:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go ahead and adjust that for your time zone. It is happening at 28 degrees of Leo. So if you have your birth chart handy, you can go ahead and look at your birth chart. You're gonna wanna look at two different points. One is 28 degrees of Aquarius, as you can see in this chart. That is where the sun is located. And 28 degrees of Leo. That is where the moon is located. Now remember, every time we have a full moon, it's because the sun is directly opposite the full moon, as we can see here in the chart. Now the sun has been in Aquarius for almost a month. It's at the tail end of its journey, its season through the zodiac sign of Aquarius, because it is at 28 degrees. Within 2 days of this full moon, the sun is going to move out of the zodiac sign of Aquarius and we are going to enter Pisces season. So the sun is in its full potency, it's made its journey through Aquarius, and this full moons are culminations, peaks, illuminations, endings of some sorts. And it's not only just because it's a full moon we're having an ending, but also because the sun is about to exit the zodiac sign of Aquarius, where it has brought us the energy that we've needed to embrace over the course of the last 30 days. Now, to better understand what a full moon in Leo even means, we have to understand the zodiac sign of Leo. Leo is known as the lion. It is a very heart-centered energy. It represents everything that gives us joy and passion in life. So creativity, romance, enjoying the things in life that make you happy, so entertainment and games. It also has to deal with children, you know, that youthful radiance of a child, but also our inner child, the part of us that we suppress as we grow older and that we're needing to mature and grow up, and we can't have fun anymore. Life needs to be serious and have rules and structures. But Leo doesn't enjoy that. Leo is all about that joy of life, that ability to just speak from the heart and live authentically from your heart. Now remember, Leo, being the lion, is very heart-centered. It's the king of the jungle, but it wants to help. Think of like a mother lion protecting her cub. She might be fierce, she might be bold, but it's all out of love. Now the thing we have to remember when we have a full moon in Leo, because full moons are illuminating parts of the sky, it's illuminating a part of ourselves that we don't always see. Now, because Leo is confident and strong and bold, we can also have the shadow side come out, which can happen around the time of a full moon. The shadow gets illuminated. The parts of ourselves sometimes we don't want to acknowledge because it's a little too painful or hard to admit. Because Leo is the lion and it loves to be on stage, it loves to be number one, it loves to roar, so it has everything to do with our confidence. So the shadow side that might be illuminated at the time of this full moon this week is your confidence level. Are you not feeling worthy? Are you not feeling brave enough to speak your truth and to live your passion, to live your heart's authenticity? This is a very big theme that's coming up in the astrology of 2022, but most specifically at a full moon in Leo. Where is your lack of confidence preventing you from living a heart-centered life? The life of your dreams. So this is a very important time for you to do an emotional checkup. Remember, the moon rules our emotions, Leo's gonna rule our confidence and our heart's truest desires. Do an emotional checkup. Are you not feeling like the bomb.com? Are you feeling like there's something you want to offer to the world, but you might not be good enough, or you might not be the best, right? Are you comparing yourself? This is a great time to do some work around that confidence. I want you to feel like the lioness that you are. We are all the main character of our own life. But if you don't feel like you are worthy of being your main character, if you are letting other people in your life run your show, to dictate what decisions you make or where you live or what job you have, you are no longer the lead character. And it's time at this full moon to rein that back in, to pull that back in. Ask yourself the question, where is my heart not aligned? What passions have I been putting to the side? What brings me joy, or what sparks my creativity? And how can I get more of that back into my life? And how can I get back on track to be the main character of my dreams? Not waiting for other people to do it for you. Also, because full moons are times of releasing, of letting go, you might be coming face to face with some fears that you have to let go of, some egotistical ways, maybe some people that are holding you back and not letting your heart shine, that don't align with your heart anymore. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that when we pull up the chart and talk about what the other planets are doing at the time of this full moon to support this energy we're feeling. But just remember, you want to align with your heart. You want to release full moon and let go of the things that no longer serve you so that you can move on and become the main character of your life and live a life of joy and prosperity and abundance. Now, the other thing we have to pay attention to is the sun, because a full moon only occurs when the sun illuminates the moon. So we know the energy of the moon, our emotions, but the sun shines bright and it's in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is all about taking risks. And as the sun travels through Aquarius, it asks us to think outside of the box, to be authentic, to do things in a way that makes sense to us, not in a way that is done by everyone else. So it's a very important time at this full moon to realize that maybe you are in a certain industry and there's a lot of competitors, or maybe in your personal life, you feel threatened by people around you. You have to remember that you provide this world with something authentic. You, your voice, the way that you view the world, the way that you do things in your life. You are needed, necessary because of your uniqueness. And oftentimes we push that uniqueness down because of the way society tells us to be, or the structures or the rules. So for instance, I've always wanted to be an astrologer, but I was told to go to college and practice psychology and do it this way and this way and this way, until I realized that my truth, my authenticity is to speak about astrology. That is my passion. That is my joy. So I had to follow that and trust that I have a unique gift, even though there's many other astrologers, but I present it in a way that's different. So to have the confidence and the understanding that if I speak, if I share from my heart, brings me joy and what lights up my passion, I can only succeed in my destiny. So take that example in your life. Where are you not shining in your authentic self and holding yourself back from that next chapter, that fated destiny? And with that, I want to talk about the specific aspects that the other planets are making at the time of this full moon in Leo in 2022, because that's going to give us even more clues as to what we're supposed to be doing at the time of this full moon. So let's dive into the planetary aspects of this full moon. So we already talked about where the sun is at 28 degrees of Aquarius. We talked about the moon at 28 degrees of Leo. So now we need to talk about some of the other key players. Now, as we look at the chart of this full moon, we can clearly see that there's something major going on. We see this box over here. That is what we call a grand cross. And a grand cross happens when you have 4 squares. And you know from all of my astrology videos, whenever we have 2 planets at a square, the energy is one of pressure, of change, of making a decision. One planet is here, the other planet is here, 4 zodiac signs apart, coming in at an angle of 90 degrees, and they are forcing a decision, making moves. And when we have a grand cross in astrology, like in this chart at the time of this full moon, we have 4 squares. One side of the square being the sun, the other side of the square being the moon, and the other 2 corners of the square is the north node of destiny and the south node of karma. This is a very important grand cross because it's with the nodes of destiny. So at the time of this full moon, we are going to get ecliptic events. These are the points of the eclipses, and we are halfway to the eclipses that are occurring in April. So this is going to be an acceleration point, an challenge, an obstacle, a decision, a fated moment that you signed up for long before you came to this earth is going to happen at the time of this full moon. Now, depending on your personal birth chart and where this is happening in your area of life, in your house, it's going to be different for everyone, but you're going to feel this. Now, we have the North and the South node of destiny involved in any new or full moon. It's going to highlight full moons, illuminate these paths that we're meant to take to get us back on track, to move us into the direction of our destiny, but they're not comfortable. Square energy is not comfortable because we thought our life was set. We were getting back on track. We thought we knew what we wanted. You probably were starting to feel comfortable and things were starting to get stable in your life. And now everything's gonna change again. So my advice to you at the time of this full moon is to stay centered in your heart. Remember, Leo is the lion, it is heart-centered. And Aquarius is being authentic and true to yourself. Now when changes come or decisions have to be made or opportunities are taken away from you, in the moment it can seem very ungrounding, unsettling, unstable, confusing. But if you stay unattached, emotionally, physically, psychologically to those things, and you allow them to be released, you clear space for the new, for the next chapter that is actually more aligned with your heart, more aligned with your passion, more aligned with your destiny, the North Node, your North Star. So because we're dealing with the nodes of destiny, the North Node and the South Node, you could start to feel like you are getting a lot of messages. Pay attention to the impressions, downloads, dreams, messages you're receiving. Because in those, it's going to be a guidance system to help you accept the changes of fate, accept the moments of instability that come upon at the time of this full moon. Now remember, I always say astrology is not predictive. We still have free will, but when the nodes are involved, we have a little less free will. They are fated. This has been set up, it's put in motion, and it's your choice if you're gonna roll with the motion or you're going to resist against the motion. So try to go with the flow. Remember, every opportunity comes after the instability, things in your life that don't serve get cleared out, then new doors can open. So this might just be a moment of change, a moment of redirection, a moment of realigning with your true purpose. Maybe you've gotten off track. Maybe you've been in a career for a long time that just doesn't fulfill you anymore. Maybe you have made decisions in your life up to this point for everyone else. And Leo, the lion, is about yourself. It's about taking care of what lights you up and brings you joy and not worrying so much about everyone else. Now, when we have a grand cross in astrology, it happens between 4 zodiac signs, one of each element. So there is 1 water, 1 earth, 1 air, and 1 fire, but they all must be the same quality. So that is either fixed, mutable, or cardinal. Now I know this is a little high level astrology, but just bear with me for a second. This particular grand cross is a fixed grand cross because the zodiac signs involved are Aquarius, where the sun is, Leo, where the moon is, Taurus, where the North Node is, and Scorpio, where the South Node is. Those 4 zodiac signs are what we call fixed energy. They are stable, they are structured, and they don't want to change. Fixed energy in astrology are zodiac signs that are who they are and they're not going to be pushed around by other people. So this grand cross is a fixed energy. This is meant to be the way it is. It's not going to change by circumstance or one little tiny decision or one little tiny opportunity. This is fixed. This is big. This is potent. And when this change happens, when this fated moment occurs at the time of this full moon, when you realign with your truth and your heart and your passion, you will set yourself up for a destiny for the rest of your life. You will get back on the right track and it's going to have a solid foundation. Now, also we can see here in the chart that Saturn is semi-involved in this. Saturn is in Aquarius. So he is a part of this grand cross because it involves the zodiac sign of Aquarius where the sun is. And remember, Saturn is all about karma, tough lessons, creating things with a very strong and stable and solid foundation. He wants to do things very practically, with commitment and responsibility and discipline. So this is a message. Saturn is involved right now where he's saying we want to go towards our north node, our destiny. We want to release our karma and our past and what doesn't serve anymore. We need to follow our heart, which is being illuminated by the sun, where the moon is. We're illuminating our truth and our emotions and our heart. And we are taking this Aquarius energy of being authentic and thinking outside of the box. But we need to create structure and routine around this. So once you move into this new destiny, once the new opportunity comes, get grounded in it. Move in the direction of it by creating a solid foundation of that in your life, whatever that looks like for you. And lastly, at the time of this new moon, we're going to switch total gears here. We're going to talk about something a little bit more light that is going to help move us and guide us into this next chapter. That is the beautiful alignment of Mars and Venus. Now, they are the lovers of the zodiac, Venus being the feminine, representing our flow, our creativity, our nurturing. She rules our value system and pleasure and what we find beautiful. Venus just makes us feel so good. And then on the flip side, we have Mars, the masculine energy. He is all about action and our desires and what we want to go for in life. Like literally that life force, chi fire within us to grab life by the horns and make everything out of our life that we could ever desire. When these two lovers come in contact with one another in the sky, it creates this beautiful harmony of energy within us, this feminine and masculine, this I want to have pleasure. I want to have life be beautiful and joyful. But in order to do that, I need to take action on that. I need to go after my desires with passion and fire. And so Mars and Venus come conjunct in the sky about every 18 months to 2 years. So that's not super unique. However, this year in 2022, when they come conjunct, which they are right now, they are actually going to stay together in the sky for an entire month. That is what is rare and almost prophetic to the astrology of 2022. Not only do they just meet up in the sky, say hello, do a little dance, and then move on, they are actually going to stay together to help us, to give us the energy to balance our heart with taking action. And that's really what we need at this time of this full moon, right? We need that heart and that alignment of what brings me pleasure? What do I want my life to look like? Like what would make my life feel so beautiful? But Mars is gonna have that back and say like, all right, we gotta take action on it. We gotta do the things, we gotta move forward. We have to make the decision, right? When that karmic event happens or something gets stripped away, we have to say, okay, it's time to pivot. It's time to shift. I need to unattach from the past, need to unattach emotionally from the person, thing, place, whatever it is, so that I can move towards my destiny, towards that next stage of my life. And then use Saturn's energy of creating a solid foundation so that can stick around and we can have this beautiful life that we want to create with that Mars energy. So the astrology is beautiful. We have Mars and Venus supporting this. We have the grand fixed cross energy where it's like, boom, things have to happen. And this illumination of our heart and where we maybe need to have more confidence. It's time for you to step up, speak your truth, be authentic, be that lion on the stage, the main character of your life, and don't make any more decisions from fear. As the eclipses, like I said, we're halfway to eclipse season. That's when we have a grand cross here. When we get to eclipse season in April, we are going to be shedding a lot of fears, a lot of traumas, a lot of things that are holding us back from living the most beautiful life that we can. So we're getting there little by little. Each full moon helps us release a little bit more as long as we follow along with the lunar energies. And so that is why I created the 2022 Retrograde Astrology Journal so that you can follow along through every season, through every new and full moon, through the retrograde so you can learn the lesson. Remember, each life coach is a teacher to us in a different way, in a different area of our life. And as we learn more about all the planets and their life coach lessons for us, we can move towards our destiny and the life of our dreams. So I know this was a lot of information for this full moon in Leo video. I repeated myself a couple times so you could really grasp what we're supposed to be learning, what the energy coming up is, and if things are changing, this is why. It's good things. Just learn to be unattached and follow your heart. Now, I always leave every new and full moon video with a ritual that you can do so you can maximize this energy. So at the time of this full moon, this is what I would recommend to do as a ritual. I would get so dolled up, more than you normally do, because Leo is the lion and it loves to be on stage and it loves to be recognized. And who doesn't feel good when they go full glam? So find some time in your day, maybe on Wednesday when we have this full moon, or the weekend even after, and really get dolled up. And I want you to take some cute photos of yourself that you can use and screenshot, put it on your phone. Have these photos as of a reminder of what a beautiful lioness you are. Work on your self-confidence. Work on understanding that you have this unique gift and ability in this world to share loudly, boldly, proudly like the lion. So at this new moon ritual, get dolled up, take a photo of yourself, and feel good in your skin, in this body, in this vessel that you took upon when you came to this earth, so you can shine your light bright, your passion, and your mission in this world. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this full moon video. I hope it resonated with you. I hope it helped you make better sense of the astrology that is happening right now for us. Don't forget, if you follow me over on Instagram at holistic.soul.sisters, every Saturday I bring you a What's in the Stars Saturday episode where I talk about the astrology of the upcoming week. So if there is no new or full moon video for you to watch here on YouTube, I'm still talking about the astrology and helping you understand why energetically you might be feeling different things throughout the week. So make sure you catch that every Saturday. And also we do a lot more fun things on the Instagram, like my favorite 5 Friday product hauls. We talk about wellness and holistic health and medicine. And then also don't forget to catch my podcast, Holistic Soul Sister Radio, where we get to actually talk about taboo topics. Right now with all the censorship going on, we don't get to talk about a lot of those things on the other platforms. So luckily on my podcast, Taboo Topic Tuesday, we can talk a little bit more in depth about holistic health and medicine and spirituality. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please hit like and subscribe, share with anyone you think would benefit from these astrology videos. And if there's any topics you want me to cover more on with astrology, please drop them in the comments below. If you have a lot of planetary placements in any of the corners of this grand cross, whether that's Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, or Aquarius, you will be affected more heavily by this full moon. Just like me, I'm a Scorpio rising. I have multiple planets in Scorpio. So we are gonna get through this one day at a time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next video. Happy full moon in Leo.